was 17 and Bro was 12. Well, my name is Steve Jose Martinez. First of all, I'm a high school dropout, so it was very difficult for me to find my way back into education, but I had a lot of things along the way that helped guide me to it. John Burroughs Middle School is a high-performing school. We have an API of 877. What does that mean? Well, the state has some requirements, a benchmark that they set that they want the schools to achieve when the students take the test. And in this neighborhood in the west side, there are only 3 public schools that have above 800, and so we're at 877. We're the second highest middle school with an API that high.
I remember Dr. Martinez, when we first started, was an amazing teacher. I never knew he was going to be a principal, but I remember as he worked his way up the ranks from one job to another, I was so excited that he was going to become principal. It
was in the Army where I've learned the true meaning of discipline, meaning setting goals and following through and finishing up on your tasks. So I decided to see if I can do my high school completion through the military, and I got a high school diploma. One of the things that we worry about a lot here at Burroughs Middle School is safety. This is a very large school. We have 2,000 students, but for such a large school, I only have one full-time SSO, who is a safety campus officer. We do not have an armed uniform officer here because we do not generate a lot of crimes here, which is a good thing. How do we prevent crimes? We do random searches.
My name is Chris, and I'm in 7th grade as well, and this is my friend David. And I like this school because I feel safe coming here, and there's like no problem, like hardly any problems here, and the principal is great.
When I graduated, my aunt who went with me had asked, I was walking around in a red robe, and she asked Jose, who they call me Jose, you know, why is it that everyone's wearing a black robe, but you're wearing a red robe? And I had told her, well, you know, Auntie, I got a doctorate. That's a very different distinction. That's a very different honor. And that's why I'm wearing red. And I remember my family started crying. It's very emotional. I'm getting emotional. It was very important for us to have that, to have a family member to be able to get a doctorate, and especially with the background that we had, a very difficult background, first-generation American, to have a doctorate. And so I received my doctorate from USC in 2010.
Dr. Martinez has done an exceptional job of not backing off, but leaning forward into the problems, whatever they may be. I think that's a real critical decision you have to make if you're going to solve, as opposed to being passive.
Well, being a middle school, one of the biggest problems that we have is bullying. And bullying can be physical, verbal, it can take on many forms. One of the problems we're having with bullying is that if it gets to a point where a child can't take it anymore, we're now talking about students who are saying that they want to commit suicide or harm themselves. Because of that, it's such an important thing for us to make sure that we are targeting any type of bullying here on this school.
Dr. Martinez made the bullying assembly, which helped a lot, I believe, because I noticed that some of my friends who were bullied, they actually were able to stand up for themselves and weren't bullied as much. And I noticed the bullies, they kind of stopped doing what they were doing.
So there is a lot to think about as a principal, whether it's drug use, whether it's people trying to come into a campus, or being proactive in training in that. And that is something that we take very seriously as well here at our school. So safety is very big and important on our campus.
I've done a lot of projects with my students, and I love how Dr. Martinez has really truly supported those projects by allowing me to share them with other students, parents, and just the community, and putting them online, just, you know, share what's going on in my classroom, where, you know, sometimes you don't see that very often. So I really appreciate that from him.
So No Child Left Behind set some really high standards for all of our children to be highly either proficient or advanced in English and language arts and math. And it's set that by 2014, 100% of the students will be scoring at that range. But the lack of funding has made it difficult for us to reach that goal of 100%. So as you can see here, the students walking around me, our job is to make sure that all of the students are achieving at a very high level.
We have such a wonderful principal, Dr. Martinez. He also has so much dedication to John Burroughs, and it's been a pleasure and to volunteer for the school, and also it's a blessing to have him as a principal
I have two wonderful children. One is Ariana, she's 12 years old, and my son Michael, who is 6. My daughter Ariana attends this school. Actually, one of the things that I always tell the parents is that this school has to be good enough. It's so good that I would send my own children here. Bro, 17 to 12?
Over 12.
Are we code 4?
We're code 4.
10-4, this is 17 signing off.
10-4.